Welcome to another edition of POS, the podcast. We find the pieces of shit and everything. And before that, we're recording this the day before my birthday. This will come out probably about a week later or something like that. So I don't know if Ben Ortiz killed me on my birthday. He may have. He has not stopped messaging me about my birthday. A couple of days ago, he said, "Can I come to your birthday party?" And I was like, "Ben, I know I made a fake meme where it looked like I'm at a birthday party with kids, but it's just a poster for a comedy show. It's a comedy show." And he goes, "Will John Romanoff be there?" I go, "Well, did the poster say John Romanoff will be there?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, then, yeah." I hired him. He goes, "How about Dan Brown? Will Dan Brown be there?" And I said, "Well, Dan's not on that show." He goes, "Will he be there?" I'm like, I don't think so." And he goes, "Will Dan Brown and John Romanoff both be there?" And I'm like, "Ben, I know John Romanoff will be there. I don't know the other one will be there. Can I roast you at your birthday party?" I go, "Once again, it's not a party. It's a comedy show that I'm using my birthday as a way to sell tickets. It's a regular comedy show. Can I roast you?" "No." "Why?" "Because I don't want people to be mean to me on my birthday." "Okay. Can I go to your show?" I go, "You can, but you're not going to perform on it." "All right, whatever. Good luck." And then a day later, he writes to me and says, "Can I come to your comedy show?" And I go, "Sure, Ben." "Will John Romanoff be at the open mic?" This was last night. "No, I don't think so." "Will Dan Brown be at the open mic?" I go, "Well, he won't be there. He is there." "Well," I go, "It's happening right now. I'm literally hosting it. You're messaging me during the open mic." He's like, "I'm not going." I go, "I can tell." And then he goes, then today he says, "Hey, can I come to your birthday show?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "How much does it cost?" I said, "Ben, I will let you in for free." He goes, "I might go." So I'm probably going to be murdered. But so Dan, be prepared to be ready to take over as me, or maybe Ben will wear my skin and do that. But if you're going to kill someone and wear their skin, and you're worried about how the skin is going to stay smooth and soft and also a nice smell to it, use Silk City hot sauce. I hear that it not only works for food, but you can use it to actually flatten out human skin. I don't know if that's true. I've heard that in the streets. I'm not much of being in the streets, but I'm there. I ask weird questions because I don't sell drugs. So I'm like, "Hey, do you know how to flatten out skin?" They're like, "Yo, you ever use Badass Chew?" And I'm like, "No, not on skin." They're like, "You should try it." But then again, they might think pork skin because it's usually black people. What I'm saying is, go to SilkCityHotSauce.com, find the amazing sauces. You should go there because in these ads, Bobby and I a long time ago stopped talking to you about the actual product. And we should do that. It's a great product. It's so great. We know we can just be silly about it because you should just go to the site and learn on your own. You don't need me to white mansplain sauce to you. You know what I mean? Fucking look it up on your own. Check it out. See the great products. Jeff knows what he's doing. I mean, not with the part where he lets us talk about it. But then again, it's not like he's really paying us. That stopped a long time ago because none of you were buying sauce. I thought the pedophile thing would help. I don't think so. I kind of have a weird feeling, Bobby. I'm not sure that the people that were buying it using our promo code were pedophiles. And when I told them they had to stop, we stopped making money. Because before I said that, we were getting a percentage on sauce. So maybe pedophiles, don't say you're a pedophile, but buy the sauce. Use the promo code POS, save 15%. 15 is the age you hate because that's puberty. But anything under that's fine, but you can save a percentage of the age you hate. So go over there, buy some sauce, enjoy. Bobby, how are you?
Hey, it's the POS show with our birthday host, who I already gave a pre-show or a pre-birthday present to just a second ago, Pat Oates. And joining us, it's like Nick Cage in the flesh. The bees, it's DB Brown.
Hello, everybody.
AKA Dan Brown.
It puts the sauce on its skin or it gets the hose again.
Yeah, fucking. And right now, if you order now, you get a free hose.
Do you want to know what I gave you for your birthday, Pat?
I thought that was going to be something you would lead into, but okay, I'll do the thing with you. So, Bobby, what did you give me for my birthday?
I just messaged Ben. Hey, Pat said you can do 10 on the show tomorrow. Make sure you get there early.
Hey, did you know this is Bobby's last day alive?
I absolutely did not do that. And you could see it in the Zoom window. I didn't move or anything.
I know, but still, you have the ability and the power to do weird shit now.
I definitely would not do that to Ben.
I hope random people at Compound just beat you up when they're fighting other people. That's what I hope. Well,
sometimes you get you dance with the oven, you get hot.
I'm never going to get into your Compound stuff I hate talking about, but all I'm going to say is if more than one old white man wants to fight you, maybe it's a you problem. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You watch that network. It's like, I know we keep blaming other people and we love him. We have him on all the time. But if all these old white men who have given up on life have enough vigor left. And by the way, I know that word rhymes with his favorite, but I said vigor. Have enough, oil and vinegar in their blood to want to fight you and ruin what little bit of a career they have left. It's a you problem.
Yeah.
Go Phillies.
It's a you problem. Or you could be like Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing, where all the old white guys want to fight you because you brought dancing to the town.
All right. That's so many different movies. Like, it was Roadhouse, where he's fighting the old people. Footloose is a completely different movie without Patrick Swayze, where they were dancing in a town they want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing was an old man dancing with a girl, which we all romanticize, but really it's like a 40-year-old man dancing with a teenager and fucking her. So that's really that movie should be fucking canceled if we're canceling anything. It's Dirty Dancing.
It's not called clean dancing, Pat. You want a clean dance?
It's also baby in a corner. It's a baby.
It's a literal
Don't
baby.
Fuck babies.
And if you do, don't buy Silk City hot sauce. Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
So Patrick Swayze beats up elderly people in Roadhouse?
Yeah, he rips one's heart out.
I don't know if that guy's that much older than him. I think that guy just looks terrible.
Dan, have you never seen Roadhouse?
I think I've seen clips, like pieces of it, when other people were watching it.
Just the fucking part in the closet with the big tits. That's a good scene.
I didn't see that. All right.
Not to get too far ahead into what you've been up to lately, Dan, but the next time the bees have you with your back against the wall, throw in Roadhouse, and it'll be the motivation you need to persevere.
Yeah,
it depends on what scene.
The whole movie.
No.
Put on the whole movie. It's a great movie.
No, but I'm saying, but the motivation, sometimes there's no motivation. Like when you're the blind piano guy and they're throwing bottles at your fucking chicken cage and you're realizing that, oh my God, why couldn't it be a blind black guy and I would have been making good money by now, but I'm a black white guy. I'm the Jeff Healey band and I got shit being thrown at me and you have to stop and your one big line is you're staring at the wrong part of the ceiling going, ladies and gentlemen, Dalton. Like, how did he smell him? Like, he's blind. How do you know Dalton was there? You can tell by the sounds of his fists.
You know how they say, like, when you lose one sense, others are heightened? He could smell the sexual energy that walked into the room. He's like, oh, it's Dalton. Kind of like we do with Dan on this podcast. I didn't even need to know he was the guest. I could just smell the sexual. Nice.
I think that he smelt it.
Inadequacy.
You're probably dead in 8 years.
Me?
You better make ghosts now. Not you.
Oh, I was gonna say.
According to your logic of how you describe Patrick Swayze movies, you. Because you know how you are in Roadhouse, but also in Dirty Dancing and also in Ghost House. Also in Point Break to Utah, too. But, so Dan, is it okay if we talk about the bees?
Yeah, you can talk about the bees.
Will they hear us talking about them?
I mean, as long as you don't talk about the birds and the bees, because I haven't learned about that yet.
That's probably the best if you're like sit your kid down someday and you're just like, here's about the bees. Like, what about the birds? I don't know about the birds, but I've beaten the bees.
I do kill birds with my car all the time.
You know what? I was telling Monday at the open mic, I was talking to Alex Tomaselli and Mustaf Musa about that. And my Matt Lopes jumped in. He goes, what? I go, Dan's basically and I can't say he kills birds because birds attack his car almost every year of his life. And we were actually driving to a morning radio show years ago where Dan was talking about how he was shocked it hadn't happened yet this year. And then bird hit the car. We get there. This thing tried to fly through his engine. It was like in the hood. They just fly at his car. Birds are attacking him. Bees have now invented his house. It's insane.
We were actually like digging the bird out of the grill of my car with a stick, and it was wedged in there.
Outside the radio station with sticks pulling birds out of a car.
But like when my father was teaching me how to drive, he would take me to a graveyard so I didn't like kill any living people. And he at one point I was driving through the little pleasant graveyard streets that are there, and all these crows like flew in front of the car, and I slammed on the brakes. And my father was just like, "You idiot! You're never gonna hit a bird with your car." And since then, I must have killed like 10 to 15 birds with my car.
Take that, Dad.
Yeah, take that.
So, Bobby, have you watched any of Dan's Facebook with the bees?
How could you not?
Yeah. So do you have any questions? I have questions, but I'll let you go ahead.
Are you anti-exterminator?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Like, why do I need to pay a guy to come to my house to
Because
kill
you
bees?
have hundreds of bees.
And honestly, Dan, because they beat you at this point. It's over.
They haven't beat me. They have not.
You.
They have not. I've been slaughtering these
It
bees.
shouldn't be the war in Iraq. It should be a short 3-day excursion. That's going to get real old real fast.
I don't
It's
know.
been 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks. But I have some
How many bees are there?
Hundreds.
Or were there? Hundreds.
I have a bucket full of bees upstairs.
Like,
yeah, dead bee. I mean, some of them are like twitching and they're like hanging on to life.
Why are you keeping them?
For videos. Well, I like to taunt the bees because like sometimes, like after the third huge big bee battle, I took like a bunch of bees and I spread them on the windowsill right outside of their nest so they could see inside all the nasty dead gnarled bees to scare them away and get inside their heads.
Now it seems kind of like, Dan, you're using like World War I era tactics and World War II, kind of like trench warfare, head-on excursion. I'm more of a psyop, men who stare at goats type of guy. Like Abu Ghraib, have you considered perhaps like you play the same song right before you go attack them every time, and then before long you won't even have to attack them, just the song will make them uncomfortable.
Yeah,
or like you throw cinnamon at them first, they smell the cinnamon, and then whenever they smell cinnamon, they're like, oh shit, Dan's coming.
Yeah,
unless it's the Blind Melon, that song No Rain, because that bee girl's in it and they love that.
Some guy said I should play the Wu-Tang Clan Killer Bees Attack song, but I didn't want to make them rally.
Yeah, you don't want them to bring the motherfucking ruckus.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the worst kind of ruckus.
Bring the motherfucking ruckus.
Now, Bobby, I know that was a good question that you had, or advice you had. But the first question I had when Dan was done talking his nonsense about the bees right there was when he said the third great battle. So maybe we need to go down the history a little more, because now it's sounding like Lord of the Rings. The third great battle. Are you okay?
Yeah, I got
no, not the bees part.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
Are you okay? I mean, we care about you, and this feels like an intervention.
I'm whittling away at them, at their forces.
Dad, all your time is having the great battle with the bees. Get out of there!
I went to work for like 3 days and I didn't fight a single bee.
But you came home and fought them, dude. You would, because the second you got home, I'd see you on the internet. Because I did say to you when you were writing this, and people were like, all the local comics were like, "This is riveting. I can't. What the fuck's going on, Dan?" And I said, "How are you not having I was kidding, by the way, saying have a YouTube channel calling it D's Bees because you're DB on Facebook." And you're like, great idea. And ever since, you've been like the crocodile hunter of you fighting bees. And I know you think you're winning. You're not winning. Someone made a good point. Is there honey in your walls?
No, these are yellow jackets. They don't make honey. They're just assholes, and they attack people for no reason and invade their homes. They're squatters, Pat.
How do you know they're yellow jackets? Oh, the Chinese?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Thanks for
they speak
making
Chinese.
me not the racist.
That's my job, Bob.
I love
That's my job.
They
what
do?
is in the background of your thing? Hold on,
sorry. I switched to St. Joseph because based on the bees and the birds flying into the car, I think Dan has a demon.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Bert from Birch Bees.
That'd be good. But no, this is St. Joseph. He was a demon fighter. No biggie.
St. Joseph looks like all new open micers. Like the same kind of beard. Like if the hat, the long blanket was just like a fucking hood for a hoodie.
I think he looks like Hassan Minaj.
Yeah, he does have a Hassan Minaj, I think. But watching him right now, I'd rather watch his special than Hassan Minaj's.
I do like when I move and you can just see Delco in his hand instead of the flowers.
Yes, I am enjoying that as well. And I also like that he's holding weeds in his hand.
Yeah, to fight off Dan's demons. You notice how Dan got uncomfortably quiet since I brought that up.
Demons?
No, I think Dan's quiet because the bees are in here. They heard him, and now they're coming in.
The bees haven't taken over this room yet. They've taken over the dining room, the upstairs bedroom, and they started to go into the other bedroom over there. And they're like in the bathroom window. Like if you look in, they're like little bee honeycomb things. There's no honey in them, just bee eggs.
Bobby, take it away. I'm not going to say anything because I know we're going to say the same thing. So go ahead.
what about this makes you feel like you're winning? You're
Because I
losing
have a
ground,
bucket
Captain.
full of bees.
You're Russia. You're retreating for the winter and just burning rooms, being like, "Don't let them eat."
But I sprayed so much bee poison in the wall that, like, lately when the bees have been coming in, they're just like, they're dazed and confused. I'm winning. I'm winning a chemical warfare because at first I was
Okay,
just
all right,
fighting.
time out. I'm with you. I see what's going on. Are you familiar with MRSA, Dan? The bacteria.
The disease that
Yeah.
doesn't. It's
Do you
antibacterial.
know why? Do you know why it's so deadly?
Because antibacterial drugs don't work on it.
Because what happened is we would just give some drugs, enough to make people feel better, but not kill all the drugs. So a whole breed of drug-resistant bacteria was born. Do you see where this is going?
But I kill the ones that look like they're drunk because they got bee poison all up in their noggins.
Yeah. And what do drunk people do?
Barf on you and tell you that they love you.
That's Pat, tag in. I don't know where to go from here.
There's no need to. Just let him go. Just let him go. He becomes Bill Nye the Science Guy in the middle of this crate. That's why I think if Dan did kill people, they would just let him go. If Dan ever became a serial killer and he went up there and goes, "It's not my fault. They had fun stuff up in their noggins." They'd be like, "You can go home. You're fine. You said noggins." Yeah,
I meant that
I mean,
you asked Dan
Bobby, you're right. Let's even go back. Let's go back further. They've only taken over, and then he named several rooms in his house. They shouldn't take over anything. This isn't California, and they're not homeless people. They can't just live in your room.
Yeah, because they know how to party.
Get an exterminator. I know. Dude, you do a GoFundMe. By the way, you're welcome. A GoFundMe right now.
Ka-ching.
People would donate. Comics would do it to get an exterminator so you can record it. It would be, or I'm sure there's a comedian that's an exterminator. That's
Larry Izzo.
Comics do.
Larry Izzo. Dan, if I text Larry and you and him do
That's far.
a video podcast.
Larry's far.
Yeah, but Larry hates bugs.
Yeah, but I mean,
other
he would
things.
talk him through it. Yeah, Larry hates other stuff too. I haven't seen Larry in a while, but yeah. But no, you need help. You can't do this on your own, and you can't keep them. Are you gonna make a necklace out of the dead bee? Like, why do you keep them?
I just keep them to
Remind
intimidate the bee forces.
How do they see it? It's in a bucket. They're not in that room.
But I did sprinkle them on the windowsill the day before. And when I say that they've taken over several rooms, it's not really like they've gotten a stronghold. It's kind of like in Vietnam when the Viet Cong would they would start in Cambodia
It's
and then
not.
come over.
They're bugs.
Yes, it is. It's guerrilla warfare. It's guerrilla warfare.
There's
not
no.
gorillas.
They're
They
bugs.
They would the Viet Cong, they dug trenches and they lived underground. These ones are in my walls. And
Right. But at no point could the U.S. have been
over
like,
the
"Hey,
border.
can you just come put a tent over my house and take care of the Viet Cong problem?"
I gotta
The
live in
Viet
poison.
Cong.
Yeah, the Viet Cong.
That was good,
But
Pat.
it's-
That one was good.
I'll be doing 400 more.
I know. I'm going to tell you when I think they're good.
I appreciate it. They're not all going to be winners.
Sorry, Dan. Back to your tragedy.
Listen.
No, stop. How are we still talking after he said, "I sprinkle a bunch of them on the windowsill"? Dude, that's crazy.
If you were in wartime, Pat, and you killed a bunch of the enemy, and you left a couple of dead enemies outside of your enemy's base, like their bodies, like Vlad the Impaler, you'd get inside there.
I do the
You
same
get
thing.
inside there.
You're in your house. You're not in wartime.
Oh, I think these bees beg to differ.
Now, Dan, I recently read about the CIA, and there was this village they wanted to take over. And basically what happened is the Japanese leaders were really strict, so the local gangs weren't bad, but we didn't want the Japanese in charge, so we worked with the rebels, got the Japanese out, and the rebels were like, "We're in charge." We're like, we actually like these people better. And so they kind of kept fighting. And to quell the rebellion, what the CIA did was convince the town that there was a vampire. So they flew a guy in a hang glider with bright glowing eyes painted on it and played curses in the native language out through a speaker. And then they found out where people helping the rebels were. So what I think you should do is convince them that there's a natural predator to yellow jackets in your house. So start playing hawk noises or bird noises. You know what I mean? Freak them out. Take it a step further.
No.
Or let birds in your house.
No. Do not become a hawk.
I remember, like, I think also during the Vietnam War, didn't the United States troops also like drop pamphlets over the jungle talking about how our
How is
penises
this
were so much
becoming a
bigger?
history lesson?
Because
We're
it's
using
war.
CIA tactics on the bees, Pat. What aren't you getting about this?
Yeah. See,
It's
okay.
the BIA.
Do you remember? Do you remember that movie?
Very good.
Do you remember that gay movie about?
Vietnamese.
Sorry, go ahead, Dan. That
Remember
movie?
Yeah, that movie about the 300 Spartans who beat the
Beat.
Persians. Yeah, they beat the Persians at Thermopylae because there were only 300 of them, and there were like thousands of Persians because they took a stand at this choke point where like all their best fighters would guard this small pass, and all the thousands of troops would come down and have to funnel through this pass, and the 300 Persians beat the shit out of them. That's what I'm doing with these bees.
They're not people.
But Dan,
They're people.
what inevitably was the downfall of the Spartans
Gay
in
sex.
that movie?
Oh, like that they were like their gayness?
No,
Or
remember?
that one-eyed lady who's like, oh, it's in my hand.
No, it's
I didn't
even,
actually
I
see the
promise.
movie. I took a class in college where they told me about it. Like the movie was just a little too gay.
By the way,
even
Bobby,
for
the
me.
downfall of that movie was Gerard Butler.
I promise the true downfall of the Romans answer is better than anything you guys can guess. Because what happened in both the movie and in real life is one of the Spartans they rejected because he was intellectually disabled, snuck around and gave the Persians away. Now, Dan, what has been your downfall, your antithesis at every place you've worked?
Being intellectually disabled.
No,
No,
don't they like
battling
try to
them.
molest you?
Well, yeah. I
Don't
mean,
let the bees molest him, Bobby.
No,
Don't,
I'm
he's gonna
saying
get hurt.
like
a bee
you
stung
shouldn't.
my butt the other
If
day.
the
What?
downfall for the tactic
Call
you're
the
using
police.
is retarded people, and your like ultimate rival in life is retarded people, don't use that strategy. Sorry, Dan. Please continue.
No,
I mean-
no, continue. Both of you stop. This is not the same thing. You have a bee problem. Call a bee person and have them think, if you're afraid about killing them, get one of those fucking bee motherfuckers who wants to save them and put on his stupid arm things and his stupid mask and bring him to his house. Get some. There'll be volunteer bee people. Call PETA or Beta. I don't know.
Have you
And
ever
have
seen
them
those?
help you.
Have you ever seen those guys that wear a whole beard of bees?
Yeah, get that guy.
Well,
he's an easy get. He used to always be on daytime talk shows. Here's my beard. And you come out, like, all right. Like, here's my...
I also like how you've skipped over like actual known methods to calm and get bees to leave and jumped straight to the CIA killing their bodies and leaving it at the window.
No, didn't you
tactics.
start with poison though? Or you
I didn't start with poison. I used hand-to-hand techniques for about 2 days, and then after that, I started like spraying. I did because
they don't have hands.
well,
It's not hand to hand. It's hand to wing.
yeah, okay. That's what I was doing because I had a flip-flop, and I would just go in there, and I like. One thing you may not realize about bees is that their vision is not so good in low light. So in the daytime, like I would have the room dark, and I would open the window so like this bright light would come in, and I would be in the darkness, so the bees wouldn't really be able to see me that well, but they would see the light from the window, so they'd start flying over the window because that they needed to orient themselves, and that's when I'd have them because I'd take my flip flop and I would smash them up against the window, and that way I killed hundreds of bees. And
Have you located the central nest yet?
yeah, it's on the outside of my.
Stop
upstairs
it, Bobby! Stop it! Stop asking him about more techniques. This motherfucker thinks he's stealth with bees, and he's hiding in the dark, and he's attacking with a flip. You're crazy. What is going on?
That's why you don't have confidence in me, Pat, because you don't think.
I'm the only person who believes in you, and I'm starting to stop.
You don't have a tactical mindset. Like
No.
You're not thinking strategically. That's why you don't believe in me.
I wouldn't fight the bees. I would.
Do I have to
call
go get
someone.
Do I have to go upstairs and get my bucket of bees to show you how many bees I've
Please.
killed?
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Bobby and I will talk not about you,
Right
of
back.
course. Dude, what's going on?
It
Is he
concerns
okay?
me he hasn't taken care of the main nest yet. Like he knows where it is, but he hasn't taken it out.
That's
And
your concern.
well, because if you really wanted to get rid of
No,
the bees,
that's your concern.
that is my concern. Like if
what
I
about
was
him
like,
and his mental safety.
oh, I mean, no, that's just a sign that it's not all there.
Is he now past Ray Collado as craziest we have?
No.
Would Ray do this?
Ray would not only do this, he would be like, I'm having a bad day, guys. And we'd be like, why? He'd be like, the fire ants I got to fight, the bees are out.
Yeah, or he'd be wearing a bee costume saying, I'm one of them. Like Dan's that close where he's going to be wearing a bee costume and saying, like, I'm blending in.
He's at the beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy level of Kanye.
Yeah.
Look at all these bees in here.
Oh my God.
Christ, dude.
I did that with my own hands.
Why do you have a bucket that big? What are you expecting?
This is the joint compound. When I was ripping the walls out of my house to like redo them because my ceiling was.
Should have looked for some bees while you were there.
Upstairs.
Well,
have you destroyed your walls?
When I first moved in.
No, I mean now with the bees.
Oh no, I haven't. But I think I might have to like take some of the sheetrock.
Hire someone.
I don't have a lot of money, Pat. My furnace broke.
Do a GoFundMe. Okay. You need help.
What am I, a beggar? I can't do this.
Take care of the main nest before you do any more hand-to-hand combat.
Their numbers are dwindling. I'm chipping away.
No, they have a base they can go back to. It's like every sci-fi movie where we're fighting aliens. Ender's Game. Stargate Atlantis. Like, the aliens have a main hive. You have to take that out before you kill the individuals.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they just
according to Bobby, you can make a movie that will prove that you can't get laid, like those movies.
The only place,
movies.
The only place these dead bees go to is hell.
What do they have? Bee heaven?
I don't know, but like these ones are going to hell.
Well, bees are Jews, according to Jerry Seinfeld.
Don't Jews also go to hell?
No, they go to. Like,
I mean, not all of them, obviously.
Not all. Yeah, that's not. They're not gay. It's just that. By the way, when you said you're not a beggar, that reminded me, Bobby, I'm working on it now. I started it last night, but I really started writing it afterwards. I have a new bit on being a burden. That is an angle no one's gone with being a burden.
Nice.
That I think, yeah, I am not spoiling it all. It's about how that most people, I have a story where I talk about a friend of mine who actually killed himself because he thought he was a burden to people. And I'm like, if he just waited it about a year, it gets so sweet. And I started talking about how I am. And I was explaining how, like, most of the people at that mic had to take turns bringing me to the mic.
That's great, dude.
And how I am embracing the burden. And, like, it's so, once you're in, it's way better than being, like, a hot chick. Because, like, no one's even trying. They're just doing it because they think that it makes them better people. And I know that. So, therefore, I use my burden ability. It's like, I was really happy where it was going last night. But anyway, back to the bees.
Dan, how many bees would you say you kill a day?
In the last 2 weeks, what's your average numbers? You in that bucket you're saying is about, have you counted that bucket?
No.
Okay, you haven't individually
Please don't.
counted.
Yeah. You don't have to do that.
Yo, we could do like a jelly bean thing. What can we give somebody?
I think some of them are still alive.
Show the bees. If someone can guess the amount of bees that's in that bucket, they win a free month of Compound Media.
You know
By
what?
that I mean I will give you my brother's subscription for a month and take it away.
I was gonna say we'll give him a free month of BetterHelp,
By the way,
the therapy service.
Unless Jake wins this. It's like, that's my password. I'm like, I'm not gonna give it away, Jake. It's a joke.
If he wins, he gets the bucket of bees.
Ooh, that's a prize. So how many would you say you killed, Dan?
For a couple of days in the beginning, I was killing like maybe 20 for the first
how many
few days.
would you say is in that bucket, Bobby? But by kind of we're seeing with our eyes there.
Probably about 200.
I thought less, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know the size of the bees, and honestly, it kind of disgusts me, so I wasn't looking too closely at it.
Oh, I'm very grossed out by all this. But do you have just dead carcasses in your house?
I mean, I'm gonna throw them away at the end of the war.
So
why do you know the war's gonna end? What if it's 100-year war?
I've got Delta dust coming in the mail, and these bees are gonna be sorry they ever messed with me.
Wait, okay, what the fuck is Delta dust?
Just real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Delta dust is
Bobby, go ahead,
real
Bobby,
quick. We do not condone any of the bee removal techniques Dan is describing on this podcast. We are not liable. We are not. They're Dan's opinions on how to kill bees, not Pat and Bobby's. Don't do this at home.
I may not condone it, but I'm close to supporting it.
I mean, I support it. I'm 100% in, but just don't do it. It's for Dan, not for you.
Delta Dust is a fine product.
I know. What is Delta Dust? It sounds
It's
like cocaine you would get from Florida.
It's like this dust that you spray into the bee hole. I mean, like the bee.
What's the bee hole? Your
Like it's
butthole?
where they come in and out.
You gotta put it in your butt.
No, they come in the bee.
Your butt.
It's like
don't
an
you dare say they come in the bee hole. If we're doing that, we're leaving. We're done.
They leave the bee
What are you,
hole.
Jenna Love?
Yeah.
No one comes to my bee hole. Sure.
My bee hole is an exit, not an entrance.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, but what is the bee hole?
it's like it's how they're getting into the house. Like there's a window in my upstairs room.
But you can't name it a bee hole. It's not a hole for bee. It's not a cat door.
Here you all of a sudden.
It's not a cat
Hello?
door.
Dan?
Hello. Yeah. I can
Oh
hear
no!
you now.
Did the bees get your sound?
They cut the power.
They're using advanced techniques. Jesus Christ. The bees discovered EMPs.
I did the other day. I had a can of bee spray, and like all of a sudden, like the nozzle that I would use to spray into the bee hole was missing, and I was like, "What? Did they sabotage my bee spray?" But then, I found it later when I was searching in the dark with a flashlight, because like
Army crawling, I'm assuming.
I
Bees
don't
fly,
think-
Pat. They don't get you on the ground. It's got to stay low.
Is this like an all day and night thing?
No, I mean I went to work for a couple of days.
No, but when
and-
you're home,
Okay.
No, I'm not. They're not. They don't come into this room. The Cambodian border like goes across that side of the house.
The reason I asked how many bees you were killing, Dan, is the queen takes in 5 million sperm and then lays 2,000 eggs a day. So unless if you're killing 2,000 bees a day, their numbers are growing. You've got to take out the hive.
Dan, don't fuck the bees.
That's what the Delta Dust is for. Like Delta Dust is this. It's almost like a little powder that you spray in there, and it gets stuck to the bees, and it's like a weird chemical that messes up they get discombobulated, and then they fly deeper into the hive that I can't reach at with the ordinary bee spray, and then they like all the dust rubs on all the other bees, and they get all heft up on goofballs, and then they die. Like if you were to like stake out the outside of my house and see where all the bees are coming in, the numbers are dwindling. Like there's only a sad trick. Like before there was like a river of bees coming in and out of that little cable TV wire thing, but now there's just like a sad dribs and drabs of 3s and 4s. But anyway,
is Delta Dust safe for humans? Deltamethrin can be mildly irritating if it gets in the eyes. If enough deltamethrin is breathed in, it can cause headaches and dizziness. Although not common, individuals who have ingested large amounts of deltamethrin have experienced nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and muscle twitches.
I'm not going to snort it. I'm probably going to have a COVID mask on or something.
Those don't work.
All right, so maybe I'll get a little bit of
Is Delta Dust safe for indoor use? Yes, it is. It's okay around pets and children. You can keep children and pets out of the room while you are applying the product. Then it's okay to allow them back in once you're done. How much does Delta Dust cost?
The one that I ordered was like $30 with shipping and handling.
That's not bad.
Do you know how to get rid of it when you're done?
I'm probably just going to put it in the garage.
You may wipe up excess Delta Dust insecticide with a damp paper towel. Dead insects may be cleaned up with a vacuum or dustpan and broom, not kept in a bucket.
There's a fungi that gets into it.
You're a fun guy, Bobby.
Thanks, man. That gets into an ant's brain and it turns it into a zombie, and it like grows out into a horn, and it controls the ant's body, and then it takes it to the hive. What if that fungi gets into your bees and you kill all the bees, and now you have to fight zombie bees?
That'd be
Zombies. That's a movie. Zombies. That is a movie.
You know where they live? You know where zombies live, Dan?
In the zombie hole.
Pat's
New
gonna
Jersey?
be so mad. In your head.
In
your head.
Zombie.
Zombie.
I'm not mad at all. That was great. I didn't see the turn. I'm mad at myself for not seeing the turn, but I'm not mad at the joke.
I thought you'd appreciate that one.
That was great. So Dan, what What happens when all the bees are dead?
I'll probably do a little dance.
Will you or will you miss them?
I mean, more bees are gonna come. Like there are other fish in the sea.
Why do you
Pat.
think? Why do you think other bees are gonna come? Maybe you're just alone now forever.
Because Pat, this is not the first time I had to
I
fight
always thought
bees.
there was gonna be more women. You get to be a certain age, they stop.
Yeah.
I've never seen a question break somebody like that. What do you do when the bees are gone? Oh, there'll be more bees. There'll be more bees.
This is not the first time that I've fought bees. When I was a kid,
It was like the first time.
Go ahead, Dan. I didn't mean to stop you.
When I was a kid, like when playing in the backyard with the hose, my brother and I would catch like bees and drown them in the pool, and we would kill tons of bees.
Was your mom okay when your dad had the hose over?
As long as Dan and his brother drowned him in the pool, yeah.
Right, yeah. They were done snorting Delta dust.
And there was this other time when like bees came into our room when we were like older, and we had like Swiss Army knife, pocket knives, and we would like knock them out of the sky and chop their heads off with the knives.
So you've been fighting bees your whole life.
It's been an ongoing struggle. Like I wouldn't be surprised if these bees are not descendants of those bees that I killed in the past.
You merely adopted bee fighting. I was born into it.
That's right. You guys have no confidence in me. But I also, like, you kind of have to get revenge.
Why is that the second time you've said that? No one has said we don't have confidence in you. This has nothing to do with our belief in you.
I started with a lot of confidence in you, and it's slowly over time.
I've killed hundreds of bees, and they only stung me 4 times. And I was drunk at the time because I went like after the open mic yesterday. I went into the main bee room, and I had like a shoe and like how do you
have a main bee room, Dan?
Than a bean foyer.
No. That's like it's an oxymoron statement. That's like being dead in the living room. Get it? He's dead in the living room.
Yeah.
Main bee.
So there was this up by my ceiling. There's like this crack, and like the bees were just hanging out there, and I noticed that they were up there, and they were just like look in the crack, just looking down on me, watching me, and like getting recon. And I took the bee I took the bee spray, and I went up there, and I was like spraying into the crack. And while that happened, a bee got under my shirt, and he climbed up my shirt and just stung my belly fat, like just where it hangs over my belt a little bit. And then I was pretty drunk, and I just was like, I'm gonna get revenge on this bee for making me bleed my own blood, like Nelson from The Simpsons. And so after that, I was like, I was fighting some more bees, and like a bee bit my butt, and then another one came and bit like just lower on my leg, like right below that.
We're taking on casualties. We're taking on casualties.
That's right. And then I was like, from this day forward, I'm never gonna fight bees when I'm drunk, and I think I'm also gonna not fight them at night either.
Well, it's the same thing.
So I like how Pat's question, what happens when there are no more bees, was just you telling more tales of not only fighting bees in the present, but in the past.
Yeah.
It's like
that's like a mother's like, what would happen when the kids move out? They'll never move out. What do you mean?
Yeah.
They'll be here forever.
It's like that scene in Stargate Atlantis where they can cure the vampire aliens so they don't have to eat humans anymore. And they're like, then what would we do? That's you, Dan. You don't have
how much Stargate Atlantis are you watching?
Too much.
That's the second time you have
really got into it. You know the only thing I've learned from Stargate Atlantis? It's amazing Jason Momoa has a career because he does not act in one of the 5 seasons. I have not seen him act once.
I mean, he didn't act, besides being a rapist, he didn't act in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, no. But this is like his
he
only
just was
role.
Handsome. And they just said, okay, let's just see if you can be Aquaman.
There's like there's a whole subplot where he's supposed to like him and a science guy are in love with the same girl, and they're supposed to be like equal. Like you're not supposed to know as the audience, but he's just so bad at acting. You're like, oh God, I really hope it's the other guy so we get less Momoa time.
By the way, in Dan's battle here, if you were gonna say like, if there was periods of time, BC, which by the way, BC would be before confidence.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys are being so negative.
And then AD is after Delta Dust. Once the Delta Dust comes in.
We go.
So we've got the time period for our history.
So where do we go
Is there
from
one?
here?
Is there one bee that's like more evil than all the rest? Like possibly Ready Bobby Beelzebub? Is
Ooh.
there?
Ooh, that's a good one, Dan.
I think I met a
Or is
couple
there
of
one that's like a
Beelzebubs.
cunty lesbian who's Bee Arthur and she flies around going, "Rrr." It's like I don't like men.
Now, have you tried like burning incense?
No,
I have a
that would make
pumpkin scented
sense.
candle.
Yeah, but you're not doing it for incense. You're doing that because you're a basic bitch.
You need
Yeah.
you need to burn something like that smokes a lot. Like
That's
not to,
beer. That's not a candle. That's just.
But
beer.
it's pumpkin flavor.
I you know what, Dan, I appreciate your dedication to the season, but you need something that's going to create a lot of smoke
Uh-huh.
because that's bees don't like smoke.
Did you know that in Africa, when they find a beehive, they use the smoke to make the bees sleepy, and then when the bees are all smoked up on their ganja smoke, they just take the honeycombs right out of the bee nest and they eat it and they share it.
Yeah, but you should do that, but just stomp the
my
bees.
sound just- I missed what you said.
I
Where's my
mean,
sound?
you've said things in the past, but more and more I watch you when you talk to people that are saying crazy things and the way you handle it. You really probably should have been a priest. Like, and this isn't
God.
in the. I'm not making the joke of the molesting. I mean the real sense where Dan was. If someone was confessing shit, and in the middle of it, the way Dan was talking, and you just went. He's like he's holding beer at you, and he's talking about candles, and he's being nuts, and you're like. I appreciate your dedication to the seasons. Anyway,
Yeah, he's all in.
No, but like that was the perfect way to like whenever you watch like anything where like it's like that thing where it's like I can tell the priest he won't tell anyone, and the priest is like, yes, maybe you shouldn't have worn all those women's skin, but let's think about what we're gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah, let's get a new outfit for tomorrow that doesn't involve human skin. All right.
How about bee necklace? It's like no.
I'm gonna kill these bees.
What are okay? And I'm sure you. I'm not sure, but you know, have you found out if you're allergic to bees, Dan?
I've been stung 4 times. I can take a bee sting with the best of them.
But I mean, you're
If they're-
kind of losing your mind. That might be a side effect.
I'm not losing my mind.
You
I'm
think it's a war?
like if in an official court of law, I have demonstrated tactics and intent and strategy. I've pre-planned things. Like a judge is going to favor me, not you.
Dan, if you ever
wait, yeah,
get
go ahead.
people accusing you like really of being crazy, do not say that to them because it's
Do not
only
tell
going to help
them
their
in an
case.
official court of law.
Yeah, according
in a
to the
fake-
statutes of 1972 in Connecticut, as long as I kill enough bees a day, I'm legally stable. Okay. How many bees have you killed?
My bee killing is premeditated. A judge would be on my side.
What judge would judge you against bees?
I don't know. Didn't you say that I was insane?
So you think when you're insane, you go see a judge?
No, but like if a court of law is judging whether a person
I wasn't saying you were insane and trying to plead so you didn't go to jail time. I'm saying you might need psychiatric help.
But the jail is peripheral. That's like that doesn't matter. I'm
not talking about jail or court. I'm talking about you are battling bees, but letting them live in your house where they have their own room.
But I'm
Several
talking.
rooms, a main room.
I mean, you gotta let them have something to lull them into
No,
a false
you
sense
do
of
not.
security.
Right
No,
now,
oh my
Dan.
God, don't say that sentence.
Right now, Dan, bees legally own more residents in Connecticut than Pat because of your house. More square footage.
Yes.
It's not.
So you want to
it's
come
not-
over and help fight them out of spite?
By the
and-
way, if you're ever gonna open a place, like if you ever wanted to battle the Special Olympics in Connecticut, like and not be them and your own thing, when you
I
say
would destroy the Special
no,
Olympics.
not you
Okay,
fighting.
Jesus Christ, Dan.
You see my bucket?
No, I don't want to see the bucket, Dan. Put it away.
What I was gonna say is now it's trumped by whatever the fuck Dan just did there. I was gonna say if you called it recon, that'd be pretty cool because it'd be like
Yeah.
Connecticut retarded, but not. Dan's like I would fucking destroy them.
Oh, I thought that was a convention where we all dressed up like Comic-Con.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Eric Nagel can go to that one too. Some jokes are just for me. Whatever. And then you could have live reporting from Bea Anderson, and then she's a bee, and she's hiding in there. So this is not going to end well.
I'm thinking double homicide, suicide.
Why double?
Because Dan doesn't do anything half-assed.
Well, who else would kill themselves?
Double homicide and a suicide. So Dan.
Well, who else would he kill?
I'm assuming. Do you have neighbors, Dan?
Yeah, but I don't speak to them.
Right, but at some point, do you have a couple who lives in one of the houses next to you?
Yeah. I mean,
the delusion, they're going to turn into bees in his mind. They were the ones feeding the bees, officer.
Well, not even that. And Dan, I understand. I know you, so you're not going to talk to your neighbors. I know that. But at this moment, this might be a time where tomorrow, it's Saturday, you go to one of the neighbors and go, hey, just wondering, if you had a bee problem, because maybe they do too. Maybe it's something in the area. And then therefore they may go, yeah, we do. And we did this, or this guy will come out and do it because he knows the area or whatever. Great. Or the last lady who lived there, because you told me she was old. No one knows how she died. Probably died from bee infestation and stings.
Maybe.
Or maybe not. You don't have to talk to your neighbors. Fuck them. You know what you're doing.
You know, you wouldn't do. He's good. He's got strategy. He's ready to talk to the judge. He's talking about how he needs to lure bees into a false sense of security. You can't do a little recon and go see the neighbors.
I feel like I suppose I could, but I just don't want to.
You'd rather just fight bees and keep them in a bucket in your house? Is that your bedroom, the bucket of bees?
What?
You sleep in a room with the dead bees?
No, this was in the upstairs bee room.
Wait, they have an upstairs room too? How many rooms do the bees have?
And again, they don't have a strong foothold in the room. Like they come in. They don't have
feet.
Yeah, well, they have like insect legs. They got like 6.
I don't know anything about bees. I've never had 50 in a.
That's why you don't have confidence in me. I know all about bees.
What do you mean?
Okay.
I believe in you more than anybody.
Yeah, he does, Dan. Now, you know bees dance to communicate.
This isn't about my confidence. This isn't about me and you.
Did you know that? Bees dance to talk?
I know that they fleur their wings around in their hive to communicate, and they use pheromones and stuff.
It's dancing. I learned this on the magic school bus because then the school bus had to dance to get out. What if you learned how to dance to tell the bees to leave?
Yeah, you sound as crazy as my friend who gave me the advice.
I sound like I'm the crazy one, Dan.
Yeah, you sound insane right now.
Yeah.
The other day, my friend Matt. The other day, my friend Matt was like, "Why don't you dress up as a sexy queen bee and lure them out of the house?" That's what you sound like right now.
Okay, in your friend's defense, and not to talk about Stargate Atlantis again, but that's what they do in Stargate Atlantis. They can turn one of their people into the queen.
No,
I think your friend's a Stargate Atlantis fan.
Okay,
Maybe.
now listen. Do I think your friend is right that you should dress like a sexy lady bee to like make them dance?
I do.
Not in the way that he means. It won't work in that regard. But if you are going to record this and you want one video to go viral, if you want to be the greatest TikTok person and have duets of you as a sexy going, leave your main room. You might have there's going to be, we used to play the videos of the Corn Kid. There's going to be all the Bee Man is going to have some songs.
When I cross-dress as a female bee, they're just going to be like, look at that Adam's apple. And they're not going to believe it.
Turns out bees are like a certain other group that gets really angry when you trick them, and they all start stinging you.
Yeah, like a dress is probably not going to have a lot of armor value in terms of protecting against bee stings. So, I mean, I feel like it's not a viable option.
Well, you know the old saying, shy bees, Japa bees, dirty bees, look at these.
But in all honesty, like once I use this Delta dust, if that doesn't work, then the last option is to get an exterminator. And my brother said he would help. That shouldn't
be the last option. That should have been the first option.
Okay, so Delta dust. What if like we talked about earlier, the bees are resistant, and Delta dust, it actually makes them stronger.
Yeah, what if they become like the Barry Bonds of bees and they
Yeah.
get stronger and better performance?
Because I don't think it's a chemical that
It doesn't fuck up their brains anymore. It just makes it so they can't feel pain.
I don't think it works like that. I think it sticks onto their face and like they have all these balls on their like stuck to them. And
Remember me, Dan? You did this to me.
Remember me?
yeah, you guys sound crazy right now.
Okay.
Yep.
What
us.
if the bees actually made the
Us.
website that sells Delta Dust, right? Like they've gotten a computer in the hive now because you haven't touched it, and they set up the website, and really what it is just bee serum, and it's like steroids for bees, and now they can walk.
Why do they need to?
What if they come out puppy size, Dan? Now you got puppy
Here-
size bees coming after you.
All right. So like instead of just taking a super soldier serum for bees that they invented, instead of just taking it right then and there, they're going to take over my computer room, set up a fake website in the hope that I'll buy it there and reuse it on them. You guys are nuts.
No one said that.
I did.
Isn't that what he just
That was my
said?
actual plan.
I was reading about Delta.
I know.
Dust.
I was
Oh my God.
I was filling it.
I was like, there's no way that Bobby said that, and then you did. Exactly. My bad.
See, if bees were attacking your guys' houses, I wouldn't have a lot of confidence in you. But seeing as how I'm a seasoned bee fighter, I know what I'm doing. Like I'm pretty confident in my ability to beat these bees.
I wouldn't want anyone to have confidence in my bee fighting ability. I don't fight bees. It's not my job. I would go
You
to
have
someone else.
confidence in an exterminator's ability to fight
Yeah.
bees?
They basically went to bee college.
Yeah,
fucking
and want to
learn
know
how
what they're
do
going to do? They're going to go get some Delta dust, and then they're going to throw it in the freaking bee hole.
Dan, you're the same guy who's like, oh, my kidney hurts. I could just do this myself. I have confidence in doctors to take care of my kidneys.
I would not do surgery on myself, but
That's good to know.
but my iPhone did like the charging port broke one time, and I got a kit online, and I opened up the iPhone and I used these little microscopic tools, and I replaced some of the guts inside my iPhone, and it works fine. Like you can do research and do stuff yourself.
It works fine. I'm sure it works fine. I don't know if that's the same thing as you watching a video on how to fix your phone because other humans do it, then you thinking you can have psychological warfare with a creature.
I think that if you go online and you see a bee fighter and he gives you clear instructions and you follow them.
But who is the bee fighter? It's like a guy like you who just recorded himself?
No, they're professional bee people. That's how do you think I learned about Delta Dust?
I thought you just did what I did and Googled what do you buy to kill bees.
I mean, I looked
know,
up.
dude. I figured out the source of all your problems.
Okay.
Yellow jackets are attracted to sweet things, Dan. And you're the sweetest guy I know. So as
Aw.
long as you're in the house, they're going to keep coming.
You better be sour, Dan. Stop drinking pumpkin beer. Start drinking old pussy beer or something. I don't know. Is
I
that
mean, my
sour?
bucket of bees is kind of evidence that I'm not so sweet.
No, if anything, you actually are keeping them because you don't want to throw them away. Like you are being like a cemetery, and you are like caring for them. You're not burying, throwing them out the window or throwing them in the toilet. You're keeping them.
Should I sprinkle them outside on the ground beneath the beehive?
I would ground their ashes and then like lay it down and make them eat their own bee brothers and sisters.
That would be some good CIA tactics right there.
Well, that's not even CIA. I'm going off the grid. That one.
Uh.
I'm off the grid. I wouldn't do that. I would be. I am not good with bees or bugs or anything. I would be afraid of that bucket. I would never go near that. The fact that you just picked it up, I'm like, I would cry.
So, bad news. One of the other things that attracts yellow jackets in particular are something called hunting arachnids, which are like hunting spiders. So
Yeah, arachnid spider, right? Yeah.
yeah, but this one's one that hunts. So maybe they're taking care of that problem. So you should keep them alive. Have you seen spiders in the area?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. As I said,
Killed
that,
some mice
my
in
one
my
foot touched
basement.
my other foot, and I almost jumped
How
out
many
of the
mice
seat.
have you killed? Do you have them in a bucket?
No, I didn't, because they weren't like, it wasn't an infestation.
If I could save mice in a bucket.
Bucket. Last thing that I would like to do.
Yeah, exactly.
By Delta Dust.
And
Yeah,
then stomp out B's guts. And again, give all
And the court of
those
law would
things-
say, "Go home with you."
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Like,
So
feel
how
like
many mice have you killed? You're gonna go to hell. That's a lot of murder.
I don't think I'm gonna go to hell for killing mice in my basement. I remember one time when I was a kid, when I was in kindergarten, me and my brother lived down by the beach, and we were catching crabs, like flipping rocks over and catching them. And this fiddler crab just bit onto my pinky, and it was just hanging there. And I was like screaming. I was like, ah, ah. My brother came over with one of those little plastic shovels, and he just swacked it off of my finger. And then, in order to get revenge on the crabs, we got a bucket full of crabs, and we took them to the sewer, and we smashed every one of them and dumped them in the sewer. So I'm probably gonna go to hell for that.
Yeah, that's why did you get revenge on all the family? Why did you act like Russian mafia and kill all the family?
It's the only way they
don't
learn,
know.
Pat.
They don't learn. They're fucking crabs.
And one time when I was in the woods, I saw a snake, and I was I was probably a little kid, maybe not a little kid, maybe like 12, and I had a Swiss Army knife, and I took my Swiss Army knife and I just rammed it through the snake's head. And then like some of my friends, like these kids, like we used to hang out in the woods a lot, and they would like they wanted me and my brother to show them the way through the woods to get to the basketball court on the other side of the woods. And so I took the snake and I brought it out to show those guys, and they were pissed at me. They were like shouting at me, like, why'd you kill it? It's a living thing. And they were just like dressing me down, and they were pissed off at me.
Did you tell him back? Because in the Bible it says, "Forever you will strike at my head with your, or my heel with your head, and I will strike at your head with my heel." We're sworn enemies.
Never had much cause for book learning.
Yeah, that was just the cause, Dan, to yell at the people who were saying you killed the snake for the wrong reasons. That's why you would have that book learning.
No,
That's the
Never had
cause.
no Dan's been waiting, I think, most of his life to use the line "never had no cause with book learning." He got to use it in a real conversation.
Yeah,
That's
except
pretty
he
good for him for that.
used it when somebody was giving him a cause for book learning.
Right. Yes, that's what I like about it. But you know how a lot of people, you'll see memes and stuff, like older people like upset, like, whatever happened, the kids going outside, they all fucking stay inside now. But every time Dan tells me a tale when he was a child, I'm like, I'm happy my kids are on the internet. When you're out there battling snakes and getting dressed down by people, because they like, you're like, don't kill the snake. No, they're going, that boy's nuts. He just kills animals and shows them to us like he's a cat bringing us a mouse. He's like, look, do you like me now? Here's your dead creature.
Yeah, but I've seen my mother and my grandfather kill snakes.
It's in your
But
family.
on the internet, you can watch a man get fucked to death by a horse.
Yeah,
You
we all did
can
do
on the
that.
internet, you can watch a glass jar break inside a man's asshole. Like I think I'm okay with nature.
Yeah, I guess those are two of the things you can watch on the internet.
I mean,
I've never seen a single guy
Why
get
are
fucked to
those the
death
two
by a
options?
horse in the woods. I've seen horses.
you're hanging out in the wrong woods.
Maybe.
Watch man be fucked to death by a horse. I don't think that video's still up, is it?
I think it must be up somewhere. The dark
All
web,
right.
probably.
Well, let's take a look. You guys ready? You share the
I
screen
didn't-
real quick.
How do you even Google that?
It's my wallpaper.
You just move your hand.
Yeah.
And behind him is just like that.
Wait,
Everybody,
are we gonna?
everybody remembers Mr.
No,
Hands.
we're not gonna watch it, Dan.
Oh, okay. Because if we were gonna watch the horse one, I haven't seen that one. But if we were gonna see the jar one, I already saw that one.
You didn't see Mr. Hands?
No, I've heard audio of it, but I haven't actually seen it.
Stop it, Bobby. Stop doing the priest thing. Don't just move on when he goes. I've already. If you're gonna show me the glass jar, I'll pass. I've seen it too many times. I don't
saw-
want to just quote along with it and ruin the movie for you.
You don't. But you gotta understand, Pat. That was like a generational thing. Like anybody our age saw that shit growing up.
The glass
like-
jar in the asshole.
Yeah, one guy, one jar.
Wait,
Two girls, one cup.
Bobby, do you think you and Dan are the same age?
I thought so.
No, Dan's like near my age.
Oh my god, Dan. Good for you, buddy. Pat, you should start
Thank you,
fighting
sir.
bees.
I mean, we still have some good years left in us to fight some bees. Like, I'm not over the hill yet. Is that why you guys don't think I can beat these bees? Because you think
No
I'm
one's
over the
saying
hill?
we don't
I
think you can do
I
it.
thought you were my age, Dan, a second ago.
Now I'm 43.
That's not bad.
Yeah, you
I
thought
think
it was.
It's about
Does
the
that scare
time.
you a little?
I think it's about the time in a life where a man has to fight its own bees. Right
Yeah.
around 40.
That's right.
First of all, Dan, I always believe in you. I'm one of your biggest supporters.
Would you say you're
you
a
know that?
believer?
Yes, and a homecoming queen. But I always believe in you, but I do worry for you. And when I see that you are now fighting bees in your home, I'm never gonna say be like Ben Ortiz, but maybe you should get a hooker.
Maybe. I think
and
my friend...
and don't kill them, put them in a bucket. Like
I hear
have sex with them.
hookers are the bee's knees.
They don't have these. That's the whole stupid saying.
Yeah, but I bet there's like somebody who's pretty awesome who has a tattoo of a bee on her knee. So she can
Oh,
say,
yeah.
like, look, it's my bee's knee.
Oh,
And
I'm guaranteed.
I'm definitely 100% over that person and haven't been thinking about that the whole time. Everybody says bees. Hey, Dan, so did you kill him yet?
Wait a minute. She has that tattoo for real?
One of them does.
You put your penis inside someone who's that dumb?
I mean, if we really want to get to the nitty gritty of it, Pat, not enough apparently.
First of all, did you just say nitty gritty and bees knees in the same podcast?
Home run, buddy.
Usually we get canceled for other things. Now we're just gonna be canceled for being funny duddies. I said funny duddy with bees knees and fucking nitty gritty. I think we did it. So what do you? How much longer do you think this is gonna last, Dan?
I think that when the Delta dust comes in the mail from Amazon, I'm gonna spray the shit out of the bee holes that are up in my upstairs room, and then maybe if that doesn't work, if they're not dead, then I'll get an exterminator, and then I have to. My friend Brian and I are probably gonna remove some of the walls and remove the nests so they don't cause any more damage.
Do you know how to remove a wall?
Yeah, I remember I was saying that I replaced the sheetrock in my upstairs room.
No, I know you did it. I mean, I've done some stuff too. It doesn't mean I know what I'm doing.
I mean, sheetrock's not that hard to do.
I would fuck it up. I'm not Puerto Rican.
But there are so many online videos that you can learn. You can learn how to replace sheetrock, kill bees. You can do all kinds of stuff.
So far of those,
jar breaking your asshole.
you're 1 for 2. You replace the sheetrock. You're yet to kill all the bees.
Okay.
So let's finish that one, and then we can worry about the sheetrock again.
All right. I didn't mean to get all high and mighty.
No, I'm just saying. Let's not say you could do anything. You're 1 for 2.
Okay.
No one thinks you're high and mighty. Dan, this is why we appreciate you.
I think people
Because
might
everyone
think
else
you're
would've said-
high.
First of all, Bobby, who
I don't
else?
use drugs.
Who else could talk for an hour and 12 minutes about their bee battle in their home? Only Dan Brown.
Most others wouldn't live to tell the tale.
That's right.
And I think some people are probably like, yeah, the bee talk's weird, but at least they don't have any C-list porn stars this week.
That's for next week, folks. Puppy Girl Jenna.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't line one up for next week.
No, that's good.
I think
Dan,
we're okay for a little bit.
I believe in you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Believe. Dan,
Yeah.
where can people follow you? Where can people if people need to send money to help you with Delta Dust and Exterminators, where can they send it?
I don't have like an account or anything, but I'm on Twitter and most social media things as Ghosty Films, at Ghosty Films, and I'm on Instagram at Dan Brown Comedy. And I'll be at Comics on the 20th, right?
Yes, you will. I think what you should do is if you see a bee, tie a nickel to its foot, and that bee will fly to Dan and give him the nickel.
Oh, nice.
They're all coming to kill Dan. So that's a lot of nickels.
Would be fun if that was the face of the beepocalypse.
Yes. If I had a nickel
In
for every
here, in Dan Brown's house, we make our final stand. We live as free bees, or we die as free bees.
I can't wait till Adolf Hitler's there. He has the fucking mustache. He just goes, and they're like, ah.
I mean, people are always ranting and raving about the zombie apocalypse and the robot apocalypse, but the bee apocalypse is going to get them right out of left field.
It's the worst place. Nobody wants to be in left field,
Nope.
which is feel weird because that's better spot than right field because not everyone's lefty. But Bobby,
I don't have any shows coming up for the rest of the month.
yeah, but you have a wonderful
check out-
show called Bobby's World.
Check out Bobby's World.
You ever gonna get sued by Bobby or by what's his name, Howie Mandel?
No, because it's behind a paywall, and we had a bit going. It may have been blown, but we'll see what happens.
Nice.
And other than that, check out the Dave Max Sports program. Head over to our Patreon. We got a lot of fun stuff going on over there. That's where you get the stuff first. You don't, by the time this gets out on YouTube, everybody's gonna have already talked about Dan's bee attacks like to death. You're gonna be sick of it. You're not gonna have seen the episode. Get on the Patreon, spend the money, head on over there, and have a little fun. And if you need me, I'll probably be watching Stargate Atlantis.
Nice, enjoy. I will not be watching.
I got like 3 episodes left. I'm just hoping they don't kill off the one dude left I like.
They will.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Sucks. Just pay attention to social media. I got a bunch of different shows, but whatever. I'm gonna be busy running around doing dumb shit. Might have a couple of surprise fun things in the works pretty soon, but what do I want to promote and care about? The Patreon, of course, YouTube channel, all that fun thing. Oh, I was recently on this is how good my career is going. I was recently on a podcast about bare knuckle fighting championships.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's Hank the Tank. He hosts it in the morning. He has bare knuckle boxers on, and then a comic, and the comic is supposed to make fun of them while they talk about bare knuckle fighting. So I was on that. It was fun. So you can go check that out.
Sounds incredible.
Yeah. It was, one guy was like terrifying though, because he had a very Sam Elliott voice, and he was very just quiet, just like, yep, sometimes I get punched in the head, and I don't remember when they stopped punching me, but then I come back. And you're like, okay.
And in my youth, they said, I don't think you can kill all them bees. And I did. And since that day, nobody's told me nothing. I'm Sam Elliott, the knuckle boxer.
Yeah, there was one guy who was like, I got tattoos of all, like, I have a necklace. I have a tattoo of a butterfly with my daughter's name on it. But then I have this necklace that has the initials of like my dead baby on it. And I go, then he turned over like quickly to get something. And I went, if you show us the inside of your asshole and your sister's name is in there, I quit. And he goes, that's a good one.
Oh, you're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, because I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't understand how this is a good thing. But all right. But yeah, go check all that shit out. If you're looking to get into comedy, go over to Amazon and find the book How Not to Suck at Comedy. Check that out. Besides that, Dan, good luck. Bobby and I both believe in you. We have confidence in you. We know you can do this. We know that you are going to be the brave, like the William Wallace of bees, except for the part where you die at the end. We want you to be.
Oh yeah, like I don't want them to cut my intestines out or cut my nuts off or whatever.
I was
going to
say Gladiator, but like that will also be bad because like he dies too. I want you to do well in one of the movies where they don't die at the end.
All right,
and
I'll do my best.
If you can't
beat them,
if you can't join them, beat them, and don't be a piece of shit.
Be.